Hey, is that thing for sale?
Everything's for sale.
Man, this thing looks awesome, bro. Alright guys, this is Brandon at Century Chrysler in Mount Airy, Maryland. Be sure to give him a look up if you are in the market for a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. So welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to do a video on this beautiful Obsidian behind me. Now this is a Grand Wagoneer, it's made by Jeep, and it's the new big Jeep for Stellantis. And boy does it look good. I think that if you're looking at a Cadillac, a GMC Yukon, anything like that, you have to come check it out. At least drive one. I think you will be sold at that point. But this one just looks menacing with the blackout, and that's basically what the Obsidian is. Has the blacked out front, wheels, taillights, the whole nine. So there's three things though I think that Jeep made a major mistake on with this SUV, and I'm going to go through that throughout this video. So let's get started. So here's a quick look at the window sticker for the Grand Wagoneer Obsidian. Now base price is $94,845, and this is based off of a Series 2. Now the Diamond Black Crystal Pearl is a special color, so you're going to pay a little extra for that. And then take a look at some of your standard equipment down below. And then it continues up top here. Now as far as your optional equipment goes, the only option you have is the Diamond Black Crystal Pearl, which is $595. This customer preferred package is basically an add-on to the Series 2. So this is basically the Obsidian here. So that $5,000 is just to reflect the additional features that you're getting. Destination comes in at $2,000 with a total price of $102,440. And then here's just a quick look at your fuel economy. Now if you don't know, the Obsidian is basically a Series 2 upgrade. So you have the Series 1, you have a Series 2, and this is basically a Series 2 with the Obsidian package. So it does add a few features on this that you would not see otherwise on a standard Series 2. Alright, now the blackout is just absolutely amazing. The grille is just top notch. You do have a camera with a sprayer to clean it off, and even your emblems are pretty much blacked out. They have like a silver finish on the side of them just to really complete it. And I like the font that they use too. It's very bold. You see that? Looks really nice. And it just spells out Wagoneer on the grille. And full LED headlights. Check out the design on them too. And they have a 3-ring fog light down below. And then the parking sensors are pretty much hidden around the front end of the SUV too. Looks amazing. And then check out the hood. You have that like little grille finish, kind of like how you see on luxury cars too. That's what you normally see on the high ends. So they did the same thing with the Grand Wagoneer. And then everything just looks really clean too. In the shade, that blackout just looks very menacing. You do have air suspension standard, and that's going to be front and rear. You do have LED turn signals on the mirrors, and this does have a 360 camera bird's eye view too. Now on the side here, you can't really tell, but you do have a deployable running board. So in order to see it, of course you have to open the door. So I like what Jeep did here. They literally make it like a molding on the other side of the running board, so it doesn't look like it's actually a running board. So it looks really clean on the side. So let me close the door again so you can see what I'm talking about. So there it is. It just has like that very clean look to it. Now one thing to note too, you do have a smart key system for the front and rear door. So if you do have a small child, instead of having to go to that front door, you can just open it from back here, which is very helpful. All your trim around the roof rails, the windows, they black it all out. So this is a very unique look of the Grand Wagoneer. Now the rear is just as menacing as the front. So they do continue that blackout even on the taillights too. It has like a black chrome appearance to it. And then the inserts of the taillights are also blacked out. You can kind of see a red tint up top, but everything else is cleared out. It does have a shark fin. All right. They do hide your hitch. And then this says Quadra Drive 2. You're gonna have your reverse lights down below. And even though you can't really see it, you do have a dual exhaust system too. Independent front rear suspension. Very clean. So you do have 2 cameras. You do have one for your high definition rear view mirror. And then you have one for your backup camera and for a hitch view if you're towing a trailer. Parking sensors all out back. And they put one here on the side down below. Alrighty, so here's the first mistake, major mistake I think, that Jeep did with the Grand Wagoneer. I love the color options that they have, but I think when you're asking $100,000, you really have to bring your A game, especially with a brand new SUV like this one. I think they didn't add enough colors to the palette for this SUV, whether it be the Obsidian, Series 3, Series 2, or Series 1. There should have been a lot more colors available. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of 15 to 20. I think that might be a little excessive, but when someone's demanding this much money, I think the option should be a little bit longer, and that's going to include the interior. So you do have colors like the tan, you do have black obviously, but you don't have the reds, you don't have the whites, and it seems like white is something that people are really looking for too. And I think that is something that Jeep kind of made a mistake on. So that's probably one of the biggest mistakes I think personally that Jeep did with this new Grand Wagoneer. The only engine option available for the Grand Wagoneer for now is the 6.4 liter V8. It is going to be good for 471 horsepower, 455 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a ZF 8-speed transmission. It's basically the same transmission inside the HDs and the half tons. Very smooth, puts the power down perfectly, and because the 7th and 8th gear have low ratios, it will help you with fuel economy too. This does have MDS, so multi-displacement, which is going to drop it down to 4 cylinders, again helping you with fuel mileage. I will do a quick run on this, so we'll see how it does. The second major mistake I think that Jeep made with the Grand Wagoneer was not offering a diesel option, or at least a hybrid option with one of these gas engines. I think with the overall size, these things are obviously going to get probably 15 mpg or less. So giving them a fuel efficient option would have definitely made them a little bit more attractive in the marketplace. Now Jeep did unveil a inline 6 twin turbo engine recently that has 510 horsepower, 500 pound-feet of torque, but as you guys can see, the fuel economy does get a little better on the highway, but on the city it does still lack there. Even though the outside looks very luxurious, it gets even better on the inside. When you check out your door card, they have soft touch, which is basically wrapped in leather down below here, and pretty much everything else is just beautiful to look at, very soft everywhere. This is all wrapped in leather. The seating is just on another level too. I mean, the bowstring, everything works well together. And just to take you back here, you can control your headrest, you can control parts of the seat. Like for example, I'm going to push this button here so you guys can see what it does. And then this piece I'm going to pull is going to move the top of the seat. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then you have this piece right here, which moves the support for the bottom of your leg there. So you don't normally see things like this on like Grand Cherokees, things like that. And of course you have seat massagers, top and bottom. And you can close these mirrors on both sides too. All automatic up and down. And let's just go ahead and start it up. That way you can see everything illuminated better. You can lock the windows, and you can see that this all illuminated too. So you do have 2 seat memories on this side, as well as on the passenger side too. You have there's so many screens up front. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. We won't spend too much time on the interior. Unfortunately, I've done other videos, so go back and check those out. But here's everything inside the screen. You can do the map display. then here's your off-road. And then you have your audio. Now if I push this button really quickly, it's like a quick layout for everything too. So down below, this screen here is very useful. So you can look at your front, you can look at your seats. Now you saw you had these controls. This does the exact same thing, and it shows you what it does actually do. So you could change the bowstring on the seats using this button here. There's not a lot of SUVs that do things like this. You have a spot for your massagers. If you want to turn the air conditioner off out back, very easy to do. Or if you just don't want to see the screen at all, you can turn it off. You can do the same thing for this one too. And that button is actually right here. So you can turn all these screens off. Very easy to do. Your heated and cool seats are on the side. So if you want to turn those on. I will say they don't work that great on the side, but you do have them here too. So very convenient either way, however you want to use it. And let's just say you want to have a hiding spot from your kids, like you have all your candy. I always have candy in my car, so my kids eat everything up, but there is a spot. You just can't show them where the button is, but you have USBs, you have power, you also have an HDMI for your tiny screen on this side. Now, Uconnect 5 is the most awarded system. It's not really, but it should be, because it's the best. Every manufacturer, so sorry I'm not holding this straight. Every manufacturer should just steal this from Chrysler, because it's really the best. It just works great together. You can change these widgets, or you can make them full screen if you like. And if you don't want to look at it anymore, you just go back to the home and you can look at your navigation. So everything kind of is stationary here. So all the stuff you want to look at. So if you want to change your phone settings to your, let's see, maybe your suspension, maybe you want to be able to see this, you can do that. And if you want to make it full screen, you can see everything in here. So it's just very easy to use, very user friendly. Now if you do have the screen off, like I showed you, you still have your climate controls here. You have your audio, and like you just saw, you do have your seat controls on this side, and your heated steering wheel too. That's your push button start. And if you want to drop the screen down again, you just have to hit the button. It does vibrate. You do have an auto hold, and you do have a button here to turn off your lane keep assist, traction control, cautions, if you want it to park itself, parking sensors. You also have tow haul mode down below, and that turns on the screen over there. But before I show that to you, let me just finish off here. You can put this into sport mode, automatic. I'm surprised there's no like eco mode for this big boy. And then this is how you control your air suspension. You do have your cup holders. I love this spot right here. So if you have a coffee mug, that handle will sit right here basically for you. Now the only accent you get for the interior is just metal, and it's definitely real metal. Looks really good, and it goes well with the black interior too. Now a nice little surprise this one has is a cooler box in here, and it's pretty similar to what the Toyota Land Cruiser had. I had one of those back in the day, so this keeps things cool inside of here. It's actually already cold, but yeah, you have an on and off button, and you do have some lights inside of this area too. On the passenger side, you do have illuminated speaker grills here that says Macintosh, and then again, the beauty just continues. So let me close this door. If you want to turn on the screen on this side, there's a button you push, and it vibrates for you. So let me see here. You can, so the screen's all the way up, so this is as bright as it goes. Now you can't see it from the side, and that's just a safety feature that they have there. But if you do have HDMI, you can pretty much hook it up here and watch videos, things like that. If you have Bluetooth headphones, you can also hook them up here too. If you're traveling with your spouse, you can basically like throw a destination over here, because normally when you're driving, this screen gets locked out basically. So you have that option to do so over here. And if you want to turn it off, you can just hit the button down below. So up top here, You do have some carpet, so this is good, like so your shoes don't scuff this up. They do give you a nice leather wrapped area down below. And out back, you just have more luxury. It just doesn't end. You have some screens out back for your younger kids or anyone that's sitting back in the rear. And you have a huge center console with a screen. It's basically everything you saw on the front, and I'll show it to you here in a second. There is a USB as a Type-C on this side, and then they do give you 2 Type-Cs and actually a Type-A above the Type-C right here. Power plug, like a regular car plug, and then you have a 115 volt, 150 watt plug right down there. So out back here is the screen for this. So you do have your heated and cooled seats, and this is a 4-zone climate control. I didn't mention that up front, so each person on the front and second rows can have different temperatures. And if you want to turn the screen off, just push that button there. You can drop this seat down, and if you need to get out back, there's a button that will pretty much let the seat lunge forward. And you do have these buttons on each side that will put these third row seats up. This back is actually pretty decent. I did a video comparing the Grand Cherokee L and the Wagoneer, so go back and watch that because it's going to be the exact same thing. But you can recline the rear seat, and then you do have 2 USBs on each side. They have air vents out back, and I didn't mention this, but you do have LED lights throughout the entire interior. They even wrap these grab handles in leather, and the roof is in suede. I mean, this is just top notch of an SUV. I would not go buy something right now before I saw this. I'm telling you, it's really amazing. If you want to lock the SUV from the rear, you can push that button, but if you want to open the rear tailgate, there's a button on the right side too. So having the seats up, you still have a lot of space out back, and you can control all the seats for the second and third row back here. Okay, and then this is how you put that tailgate down. And here's below, and I gotta move. The last mistake I think that Jeep made on the Grand Wagoneer, and this is very important, and this is just me just thinking out loud. Most of your ultra luxury SUVs like the Range Rover, the Lexus LX600, they have a 4-year 50,000 mile warranty. This still has a 3-year 36, and I want to say they have a 6-year 60,000 mile powertrain warranty compared to the 5-year 60. If I'm wrong, I'll be sure to fix it in here, but I believe that, you know, when you ask this kind of money, you should really give your customer peace of mind. That's the only thing I'll say. I think that this thing will be reliable for the most part, but first year of any car is going to have problems, right? So I think the first 3 years they should have offered that. You do get 5 years maintenance for this thing. It comes from the factory. You don't have to pay for it extra, so you're covered there. But apart from that, guys, I think this is a really good option. Even with that being said, even though those 3 major issues are my issues, I think that this is still a good option for people. But I hope this video was helpful. Be sure to look out for the drive video, because that video is going to be a little fun. I'm going to take this bad boy out on the road. I'm going to give you my impressions on the 6.4 liter, the 8-speed, the ride, the brakes, all that good stuff. So be sure to look out for it. See you soon.